Hi there, welcome to Grain TV. I'm Kevin McNew. It is Monday, July 10th, and an update in the markets. Corn was up 10, beans was up 24, wheat in Chicago up 16, and Minneapolis continuing to be the blazer to the upside, closing right around the $8 mark, up 34. News continues to be focused on the poor growing conditions, especially in the plains and the western corn belt. We'll get to some weather maps in a moment, but after the close today, USDA's crop progress report showed deteriorating conditions more than the trade expected. Corn coming in at 65% good to excellent versus 67% last week. Trade had looked for only a 1% decline. Likewise, in beans, they got a 2% decline to 63% good to excellent, and spring wheat coming in 2% lower than last week at 35% good to excellent. So overall, that will certainly provide probably some more stimulus in the evening trade tonight as we open back up. The weather maps continue to be very dry and very hot, especially in the plains and stretching into parts of the western corn belt. Let's take a look at this map from our good friends at Plantalytics, and what you can see is a 14-day outlook stretching all the way to July 23rd. And in particular, obviously the northern plains, eastern Montana looks exceptionally hot. Those red zones are 12 degrees or more above normal, with highs in the 100s in the Montana, North Dakota area. Certainly the spring wheat crop is all but done here, expecting very little yield in these very, very hot areas. But for the corn and soybean market, what is more problematic is what's going to happen in the northern plains, stretching all the way into Nebraska. When we look at the 2-week forecast for Nebraska, for example, we see highs that are consistently in the upper 90s and the low 100s, as high as 103 in some cases on the 14-day outlook. Conversely, when we go to Iowa, it's not near as hot. There's really this ridge that is setting up right above the northern plains and the central plains, and that is not expected to move. So the eastern corn belt certainly is cooler, or at least more normal in terms of temperatures. Moisture is pretty prevalent in the eastern corn belt, but that is certainly not the case in the western corn belt. Plantalytics talked to us this morning, and they said they don't expect any reverse in this pattern stretching all the way to the first week in August. So that would certainly spell problems for the soybean crop if we continue to see these exceptionally high temperatures going forward. Switching gears, let's take a look at export inspections. These numbers were certainly supportive, but overall, really the market continues to focus on the weather. But we did see corn top 1 million metric tons towards the upper end of the range. Beans coming in above the upper end of the range at 475,000, and wheat coming in a respectable 534. With all this action that we've seen in the trade, let's take a look at some long-term charts here from the Grain Hedge trading platform. Starting first of all with Dees corn. This is a weekly chart. You can see we go all the way back to mid-June of last year, June of 2016, when we topped out at 423. Closing today, marking beating on the door at 415. We weren't able to penetrate that on the last few trades of the day, but certainly 415 is where we closed around the day, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see us make a run at 423 with these weather models continuing to point to hot and dry in some of the critical growing areas. Beans, another very strong day. You can see two gaps in a row here going back to Friday, and then Sunday night we gapped higher as well. We closed just below 1040 at 1039 3/4, traded as high as this 1043 mark that's been the high on this weekly chart on November beans. So watch for that. I think once we clear that, we're probably into the high 1070s, maybe even close to $11 with the extended heat that we're in the forecast for the coming weeks. That's all we've got for today on Grain TV. As always, if you'd like to learn more about how we can help you in your own grain marketing situation, including lowering your cost to only $7 a trade, visit us online at grainhedge.com. Have a great day. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.